Podcast City Network.
Hey guys, and welcome to another exciting episode of Final Score, episode 127, our first of November. Getting in the thick of sports right now, and it's been awesome, honestly, seeing everything going on between the World Series, NFL action, the return of basketball, all kinds of craziness going on right now. And the return of hockey, too. Can't forget that. But
the return of S Money. The return of S Money.
That's right.
He's back.
Oh man, totally crazy that we do have S Money back on the show. We thank you so much for joining us, man. How you doing tonight?
Doing good, man. What's going on?
Yeah, another great night for sports, my friend. But you got to make sure to follow us on social media at PCN Final Score on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. Go on there and smash the like, follow, and subscribe buttons. That way you don't miss out on the latest and greatest from Final Score. But we are going to jump into some college football, and we had the college football playoff top 6 released just hours ago. And I'm not going to lie, pretty interesting top 6, I think, from the committee right now for the first top 6 of the season. Of course, Georgia coming in at number 1 is no surprise after beating Florida 34-7. They played Missouri next at 4-4. But I think everybody pretty much expected Georgia to be number 1. But I think what's surprising is what happened with number 2. A lot of people wondering if Cincinnati was going to get slotted in. They didn't even make the top 4. It ended up being Alabama at number 2, Michigan State 3, and Oregon at 4. What do you think of this top 4, man?
I don't agree with it at all. Definitely don't have Cincinnati in my top. But that being said, Bama being 1 loss. Where do they got Oklahoma?
They got Oklahoma all the way down at 8.
Now they're undefeated, right?
Yep, undefeated, 9-0.
Interesting, right? That to me is interesting that they're way out there. Cincinnati doesn't play anybody. Georgia and Bama are probably the 2 best teams, but I don't know that you put Bama 2 right now. And definitely Michigan State, because they beat Michigan, they come back to beat Michigan. That I don't know if Michigan is that great. Man, I don't know. I think that's shame. Then you bring Oregon back up after they haven't looked good except for the last week and a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
They were barely beat Arizona, and they didn't look so great themselves. Lost to Stanford. Did they lose to Stanford? Yep, that's where they lost. So I don't know. It's definitely interesting.
Oh,
Where's
for
Notre
sure.
Dame?
And Notre Dame came in at number 10 on this list. So looking at the next 4 teams that are sitting outside the top 6, you had Michigan, Oklahoma, Wake Forest, and Notre Dame. So definitely very interesting to see how these rankings shook out, man. I don't know if I agree with Bama being 2, honestly, especially with the 1 loss to Texas A&M. Their biggest wins against Ole Miss. I know it's Alabama, but realistically, I don't think you've still slotted them at 2. Maybe in the top 4 for sure, but I don't know about 2. And then you look at Michigan State, like you said, being in there at 3. Michigan, I don't think is really all that great either. So is it really that quality of a win for Michigan State after they've almost lost so many different games, including the ones like Indiana where they only won by 5 and, things like that. So
should have lost that game.
Should have. Definitely should have, but still somehow squeaked it. But you need
3.
I don't think they're 3.
No, you're looking at the top 4, Bama and Georgia are in the top 4. Then I got to go Oklahoma just because they're always a power team and they're undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
And the 4th one could be an argument. But I think those are the 3 of who do you got in your top 4?
No,
my 3.
I'd have to agree. Yeah, I'd have to agree, honestly. Georgia, Alabama, Oklahoma, even with Oklahoma and the kind of troubles they've had, they are still undefeated. And they had a convincing win against Texas Tech, who was a winning Texas Tech squad, 52-21. Oklahoma definitely will get another test when they have to play Baylor this next week, and maybe that'll help improve their stock. But I definitely have them in my top 4 right now. As whether they'll be 3 or 4, who knows, but still a lot of teams that could vie for that last spot, but I really don't. Michigan State and Oregon, I'm not sold yet.
No, me neither. Me neither. Pac-12 and Pac-12 and Big Ten? No. Big Ten hasn't even been relevant in football in I don't know how long.
Mm-hmm. You ain't
It's
lying.
not going to be yet, It's not.
That, and you look at it, you still got Ohio State sitting there at 5. Ohio State still has to play Michigan and inevitably Michigan State.
And that's really it, right? It's been Ohio State out of there, and Michigan State have been like look good beginning of the year and been phony for the last 10 years that I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State and Penn State. Ohio State's usually there, and Penn State shows glimpses. That's it. The rest of the teams have been, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Michigan State, we got a Michigan State in there. Oregon. That's insane.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. And I mean, hopefully we'll get a lot more clarity on this as we see some of these teams move on and play some games. Michigan State has to play Purdue, who's 5-3 and had the huge upset against Iowa. So, could definitely be a trap game for Michigan State. Oregon has played 4-4 Washington, who's been coming on as of late. Alabama has taken on LSU, which is always a trap game. So I don't know, man. It will definitely, I think, get more clarity, but I'm just not sold right now on this list. I'm really not sold on it.
Nah, I'm with you.
But I do agree with Cincinnati not being in that top 4, though. They haven't really played anybody outside of Notre Dame, and they barely got that win as it is. So, yeah. Definitely don't agree with it. But looking at some of our games to watch this upcoming weekend, we have 6-2 Auburn versus 6-2 Texas A&M, a matchup of ranked teams. Saturday, 3:30 p.m. on CBS. Definitely will be an interesting game. So definitely make sure to check out that one. But I'm also putting
Where are they playing?
They're going to be playing at Texas A&M at Kyle Field.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. And then
What's that line?
I don't even have a line for that. I want to say it was Texas A&M is actually favored, but not 100% sure.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. Auburn coming off that nice win over Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm, for sure. But another game I want to look at is Michigan State and Purdue. I'm putting on here just as an upset alert for Michigan State. I'm still not sold on them, and I think Purdue has the chance after already upsetting number 2 Iowa earlier this year to pull off the upset and get another top 5 win. That game Saturday, 3:30 p.m. on ABC. Michigan State is favored in that, but come on, are they really that good?
Are they in Purdue?
At Purdue.
What's that line?
That I don't have that one up here either, but I know Michigan State's favored, and I think I want to say it was only 10.5 or something like that.
Yeah, that's too many though. I think. I think they'll beat them. I definitely think Purdue can. I don't. Michigan State ain't that good, but they're gonna be. If everybody wants a betting tip, like you can bet again. Like Michigan State's riding that high of beating Michigan, now the number 3 ranking. They're going to inflate that line, assuming people bet Michigan State,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a little too high.
Yeah, the line for that game is, actually, I'm sorry, it's a lot lower. Michigan State by 3.
See, I said 5. So 3. So they're going to get upset this week.
Definitely could.
I haven't looked into it yet, but that normally what they're doing there is the book is shading the line. And so they're going to get people to bet Michigan State, and Purdue's going to be able to upset. And so that's a little tip your viewers get today. That's going to be a little shading the line there on that game.
Oh, and the line on that Auburn Texas A&M game is Texas A&M by 4.5. So yeah, Texas A&M's favored in that.
Yeah, I like them too.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting.
I like A&M and Purdue. I like both of those games.
Yeah, so definitely make sure to check those out this weekend in our games to watch. But you also need to make sure to check out all of our content platforms that we're on, including Podbean, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Bullhorn, Player FM, Listen Notes, Spotify, CastBox, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Amazon Music. All of that for our audio portions, and you can catch our video portions on YouTube and here on Facebook. Still, make sure to check them all out. Give them a like, give them a follow, and check out all the great content that we have. But it's time to talk about a flurry of injuries that we just had in the NFL, including Derrick Henry and Jameis Winston, who have both now been placed on the IR. And I know it just blew up my fantasy hope, especially with Derrick Henry having broken a bone in his right foot with no timetable of return, set to have surgery here soon. Jameis Winston with a torn ACL and a damaged MCL. He's done for the year. What do you think about these two going down?
Didn't affect my fantasy.
Lucky you.
I'm just holding on to Saquon. The ankle looking hopefully this week, if not maybe next week. And Henry, as far as fantasy goes, that killed a lot of people because that's a first pick. As far as the Titans go, that's big shoes to fill. Like, they're done because now you're just going to guard the pass, and Tannehill is not Joe Montana.
Mm-hmm.
They're done. I don't care who they. I know they're going to try Adrian Peterson. You got a little shot there with AP. These other guys, Jeremy Nicholson and whoever else these guys are behind them, no shot to fill it. No shot to even be in. We don't even got to worry about those guys. AP, you got to watch a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see. And then Winston doesn't matter. I hate to say it like that. Like I was saying to you, and they're all NFL players, but Winston is really they made him into a system quarterback. You see, he doesn't get to throw it like he wants to. Play here, slant, close play. You can put anybody in there to do that. I mean, Simeon's looked pretty good, and he's not even that good. So he looked pretty good in that little system that New Orleans runs with Kamara. So I don't think Winston will be missed, but Henry's definitely going to be missed.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I have to agree with you. AP is going to be their best shot. I don't see either of the two backups because the legitimate backup is also out with an injury. So a lot going on right there in that backfield. And then they got a big date coming up, which we'll touch on here in a little bit. But, man, it's really big. And even the Saints, though, I was surprised they still got that win against Tampa Bay. But, I mean, how long does that go? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I'm not saying Jameis is – I like Jameis. But he's okay. You know, like, is he? We're gonna find out. What's his face will be back, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? The guy that runs it. What's his name? He's hurt. White guy from BYU.
Oh, who? Zach?
Backup.
Oh, why can't I think of his name right now? Well, the only other one,
the guy that plays in the trick play.
Taysom Hill. There we go. I don't know why that took me a second.
I couldn't remember. I just knew BYU. That's all I can know. He is he's coming back, right?
Supposed to be at some point, but I don't think there's still a timetable for him.
I mean, Trevor looked okay this week. I don't know how long he can do that. He's not known, but I don't know. We'll see. He looked. Be honest with you, late in the game, he looked better than Jameis. So.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
Like you said. Is that going to happen next week? Probably not. But this week, he looked better than Jameis late in the game. I don't think if they had Jameis late in the game, I don't think they come back and win that game.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So, I don't know. We'll definitely see. But definitely make sure that if you had these guys on your fantasy, you better go get rid of them real quick because, both these guys are done for the year. I know it definitely kicked me in the sack, so we'll see how it goes. But definitely make sure.
Dropping them?
I don't know if I'm going to. I might put him on my IR slot. Just in case he comes back in time for playoffs. Who knows?
Yeah, he's not, but it's good thinking.
Just in case.
But glad Saquon got hurt early, so I'll have it for the rest of the season.
Oh, look at you go. Hope he doesn't go down again.
3-5, trying to get healthy here, working my way. And it's better than being like you and no Henry, so.
Yeah, that's true. I'm working off backup running backs right now because Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's out too. So, yeah. See how it goes.
Bet you wish you had Mitchell.
You're never gonna let me let that go.
Some guy told you to get him.
Yeah, some guy did tell me to get him, and I dropped him like an idiot.
Yeah.
Oh man, but definitely make sure to check out all of the great merch over at the Podcast City Network shop, because whether it's a neck gaiter to protect you from COVID-19, a mug for your morning coffee, or a t-shirt just to look cool, we got you covered. Get the latest apparel and gear for your favorite podcast and Podcast City Network by visiting podcastcity.net/shop and checking out the lineup, which does bring us to our NFL predictions, which I don't know why it says week 8. The one thing I miss this week when editing everything and getting everything ready for this show. But our week 9 predictions, definitely going to be some interesting matchups this week. So definitely make sure to come back next week and let us know how we did. This last week, though, I went 9-6, now 65-41 overall. So not stellar, but, not horrible either. Making it happen little by little. Yep. But our Thursday night matchup has the 2-5 New York Jets at the 3-5 Indianapolis Colts. Colts are favored by 10.5. Who do you got in this one?
Colts bounce back here.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe last week we were so high on the Colts beating the Texans. They're up 14-0, and they blow Wentz. Pick six, another pick in overtime. He's terrible.
Yeah, that's why the Eagles got rid of him. But no,
Yep. So anyways, Colts should bounce back in this spot.
No, definitely. I have to agree. I think Colts bounce back as well and end up taking this one against the Jets. But looking at our Sunday lineup, starting with our 1 p.m. games, we got the 4-4 Cleveland Browns traveling on over to Cincinnati to take on the 5-3 Bengals. Let's see. The Bengals are favored in this one by 2.5. Who do you got?
Are they healthy?
The Bengals, as far as I know.
Browns.
Oh, no, Browns are not healthy. Browns are nowhere near healthy, and you still have Baker Mayfield dealing with a partial labrum tear and fractured shoulder. So, yeah. They're saying he may start in this game, but nothing's been 100% yet.
But Chubbs is there, right?
As far as I know, Chubb's still out.
Is he?
Oh, no, he's not. He's in. Yeah, he'll be in this game. So they do have Chubb back.
I got the Browns here. Upset.
Man, calling it. Look at you.
Mm-hmm.
With the Browns. I got the Bengals in this one. I think the Browns are just too injured overall. I don't think they're going to get enough out of Baker to be able to make it happen if he does play. And if he doesn't play, oof. I don't know. I don't like his backup very much either. So I don't know. I'm definitely going Bengals, I think, in this one. But looking at our next game, we got the 4-4 Denver Broncos taking on the 6-1 Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys, I think, are they going to be without Dak this week? I'm pretty sure.
No, I think he's back. That's how they're making it sound. He was almost going to play this one. This was just precautionary stuff, I think, but we'll see. With Dak or without Dak, I think they're better than the Broncos. What are they favored by? 9?
9.5.
9.5. Man, I call these things pretty close. You'd think I write it myself.
Right? Oh, me. But yeah, I have to agree. I think Cowboys end up taking this one regardless. Much better team top to bottom. So CeeDee Lamb playing good. Zeke still getting going. So defense has been pretty sharp. So yeah, I think Cowboys end up taking this one. But looking at our other Texas team, we got the 1-7 Houston Texans taking on the 1-7 Miami Dolphins in Miami. And this is a utter toilet bowl right here. Miami is favored by 6.5. Who do you think takes it?
Oh, man, that's a tough one.
Right?
You would like to think Miami's better. They played Buffalo close.
Mm-hmm.
We're in Florida. I'm just gonna go Miami, but I definitely could see the upset.
Yeah, I definitely could see it too. I think this game will be really close, but I have to side with the Dolphins as well. I think overall they are the more talented team. The Texans keep trading away pieces too, right up to the end of the trade deadline too. So, yeah, I think it's definitely going to be Dolphins here as well. Looking at our next game, though, we got the 3-4 Atlanta Falcons taking on the 5-2 New Orleans Saints. Who do you think takes it?
Now, the Saints, Falcons always give the Saints a problem.
Mm-hmm.
They're in where? The Dome?
Yeah, they're in the Dome. New Orleans favored by 6.
I'm gonna go underdog.
Oh, snap. He's going underdog. He said Falcons. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. I definitely could see the Falcons taking it, and I almost.
I know you're going to Saints.
I almost chose them, but I can't give up on the Saints. I think the Saints end up taking it with Trevor Siemian or with Taysom Hill, whoever ends up being at quarterback. Hell, maybe even Ian Book gets in there a little bit and mixes it up. But I think the Saints. Will end up taking it. It'll probably be stupidly close, but yeah, I'm going Saints in that one. Our next game, though, we got the Las Vegas Raiders at 5-2 taking on the 2-6 New York Jets at MetLife Stadium. Who do you got in this one?
The The Jets are not winning back-to-back games. That last week was a fluke. So that tell you?
Do I now? I'm talking about Raiders and Giants.
Oh, I thought you said Jets.
The other New York team.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, this New York team's a little better. And not because of last night. They're a little better than advertised. I was wondering why. I thought we lost connection when you were looking at me. I thought you said MetLife, so I just assumed the Jets. Anyway, what is this? You got the Raiders are favored by like 3, somewhere in that area?
2.5.
Man, I'm good, huh?
Oh yeah.
I like the Giants here.
Oh man, the Giants. Calling the Giants and Danny Dimes. Yeah.
I really like the Giants here. This is a good. This is a pick.
Oh man, I definitely could see the Giants winning this, but it's just too hard to go against Derek Carr and those Raiders who just keep on making it happen. And I'm going Raiders in this one, in a close one. It might even be closer than 2.5. It might end up being like a 1-point game, but I still think Raiders end up taking it. But our next game, though, we got the 4-4 New England Patriots at the 4-4 Carolina Panthers. Let's see. New England favored by 4 in this one. Who do you think takes it?
They're in Carolina?
In Carolina.
Wow. These are going to be some good games. I'm going New England. I think Carolina, Darnold not there. I hate to ride New England the weekend after they beat the Chargers, because I don't like to ride a team when they're hot.
Mm-hmm.
But Carolina's just not good. They got an okay defense. Other than that, unless what's his face is back. Now I know they've been talking about him playing. Now if McCaffrey plays, that's a different story. You know, if McCaffrey plays, is he playing? Is that what we're going on?
No, I think McCaffrey's still out.
I know they're talking about him suiting up. Anyway, if he plays, I like Carolina because he's everything. But without him, they got no offense, just a little defense.
True story. I have to agree with you. I think New England ends up taking it. I think, honestly, that offense is clicking, and it's hard to kind of, go away from what they've been able to do. And Carolina's been losing to some bad teams, even though they did get the win against Atlanta last week. I'm not sold on the Panthers at all. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go with Mac Jones and the Patriots to win this one as well. Our next game, though, we got the 5-2 Buffalo Bills taking on the 1-6 Jacksonville Jaguars. The line on this one, where is it at? 14.5 for Buffalo. Yeah. Who do you got in this one?
The Bills. Do I even need an explanation?
Nah, I don't think we need an explanation. I have to agree too. Bills, no explanation needed. Jacksonville's just that bad, man. Our next game, though, we got the 3-4 Minnesota Vikings taking on the 5-2 Baltimore Ravens. Line on this one is Baltimore 5.5. Who do you got in this one?
I like Baltimore. Coming off a bye week. Better team. Rest of the week. It means a big deal in football. People don't get that, but you get a week of rest before getting a week of beating around. You're in better shape. Baltimore at home, better defense, better offense. Got the Ravens here. And I got them winning by a touchdown, maybe 10.
Oh, yeah, I have to agree, too. I think the Ravens are definitely the better team here. Lamar Jackson and company been able to get that ball moving a lot, so I think they'll end up taking this one probably about the same kind of margin. Our next game, though, is our only 4:05 game. You got the 4-3 LA Chargers taking on the 3-5 Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, for me, this is a very tough one to choose. Chargers are favored by 1.5, but I don't know, man. Who do you got in this one?
Chargers, you just said I know it's not me now. At first I thought it was me. You just said the Rams when you announced it.
No, I said Chargers. I'm reading it right off a script.
No way. I have to watch it back. But I like the Eagles here. The line says it. It's lower than I thought. I thought maybe, a 4.5, 5.5, it's still 1.5. You're going to see an upset. Your Eagles are going to win on Sunday.
I'm hoping so. I definitely picked them to win this one as well. I think the Chargers are kind of hitting a little bit of a lull right now after losing, especially to the Patriots. So I think Philly definitely has a great shot at home with defense that's much improved. They've been making some moves trying to beef up that secondary too. So I think the Eagles definitely have a good shot to take it. Looking at our 425 game, we have the 7-1 Green Bay Packers taking on the 4-4 Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City, man, falling on some hard times right now. The line on this one is actually even, though. Who do you like in this one?
Man, it's gonna be a good one. Hard to go against both these guys. You got Aaron Rodgers, and you got go for the touchdown. Sorry, a little football here. You got Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. They're almost too good to bet against, both those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And thing is I don't think the Packers D is going to be able to stop Mahomes. This is a tough one. I can't wait to watch this. But I'm going to go, and I love both guys. Man, you gave me like the toughest thing. That's like picking between two of my favorite foods. Like, I can give you a reason why I back both these guys. My only reason I can come up with of what I'm going to say is that I think one team needs it more than the other. And so in that case, I'm going to go Mahomes. And I'm going to say Kansas City needs it. It's like playoff time every game for them, where Packers are just cruising, and probably the better team, probably better form, and no doubt. Casey hasn't looked good, but I'm going to take them to beat the Packers this weekend.
Oh, man. That's definitely, I'm sure Kansas City fans are loving that right now, but they're going to hate me because I'm saying the Packers are going to win because I think the talent is just too good. Chiefs making too many mistakes, and that offensive line is suspect. And I think the Packers have been able to prove that they can now start getting it done defensively, especially after what they did to Arizona. And I think the Packers are going to be able to capitalize and get a W here. Our other 425 game, though, we have the 7-1 Arizona Cardinals taking on the 3-4 San Francisco 49ers. The line on this one, surprisingly, is even, but I don't know, man. I feel like one team definitely is better than the other. What do you think about it?
Not really. I think one team has played better than the other. I think one team has been very hot, but I don't necessarily think the two teams have separated by as much as most people think like you. I know that this game is probably going to be heavily bet Cardinals. Mm-hmm. And it being even, and because it'll be heavily bet Cardinals, I will not choose them. So you can pick the Cardinals, and you'll be on them. And I'm going to take the 49ers. And I just think the Cardinals are overhyped. You know, they got exposed by Green Bay. Now they're going on the road. That San Francisco defense is better than Green Bay's. I think the defense of San Francisco creates the win for the Niners.
Well, you already know which way I'm going, though. I'm picking Cardinals in this one. I feel like Jimmy G at the helm of the 49ers is never a good thing. Trey Lance still out. So, I don't know. It's really hard to trust Jimmy G in that offense. I'm going Cardinals on that one. But our 8:20, our Sunday night game, the 6-2 Tennessee Titans taking on the 7-1 LA Rams. This one's going to be interesting because there will be no Derrick Henry. So now Ryan Tannehill's going to have to rely more on the passing game with Julio Jones.
This is 7.
The line on this one is 7.5.
People probably think I'm looking at something.
But who do you like in this one?
No Henry, no Titans. Season's over. Mail it in. I don't think the Titans can beat anybody. I mean, anybody that matter. They can beat teams, but no Henry. This team is. They're not gonna be able to make this line after this game. That line every time they play is gonna be adjusted. They don't know where to put it at 7.5. They're hoping maybe you take the touchdown half of the Titans. They've been hot. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Without Henry, they don't got it, man.
Yeah, they're talking about AP coming in to fill that role for them. Haven't been signed to the practice squad, so Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work out for them, and I have to agree. I think the Rams are the much more talented team here, honestly. Been really hot with Matt Stafford. He's already thrown for almost 2,500 yards and 22 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp almost already had 1,000 yards and has 10 touchdowns. So the Rams definitely get a gun.
Player, right?
Yep, and I got him on one of my fantasy teams, so did something right. But I think the Rams definitely are going to end up taking this one. Titans, I think, are going to have tough sledding pretty much from here on the rest of the season.
Yep.
So, but looking at our next game, we got it's our Monday night game, the 3-5 Chicago Bears against the 4-3 Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are favored in this one by 6.5. Who do you got?
Oh man, what's the under? Like 40?
40 on the dot.
Now you probably think I'm looking at something. Man, I think it's going to be a defensive game. Don't think neither one of their defenses is as great as they've been in years, but don't think neither one of their offenses have been, well, the Bears haven't been good in, I don't know, forever. Man, it's another one. It's a good one. Pittsburgh's at home. I think they're a better team. They need to win more. But, man, and I'll take them. I wouldn't be shocked with the Bears upset. But I'm going to go Pittsburgh at home because I got Najee Harris on both my fantasy teams. So we'll go Pittsburgh, take care of business. But I think it's going to be a lot closer than the 6.5 might be.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think this game is going to be really, really close, and I think it's going to be like a war of attrition where the defenses are going to be winning a lot of these battles, forcing a lot of offensive miscues or just sputtering offenses, and you're not going to see a lot of scoring in this. So, but I think the Steelers have just enough at home to be able to make it happen too. So, yeah, I'm picking Steelers as well. But that was our Week 9 NFL predictions. Definitely make sure to check us next week.
Monday night?
That was the Monday night.
Oh, what was Sunday night?
Sunday night was the Rams and the Titans.
Gotcha. Okay. It's been a long day, buddy.
No, you're good, bud. No worries. But definitely make sure to check out Podcast City Network and all the great things that they offer, because Final Score is a proud member of Podcast City Network and the 20-plus independent podcast members across all genres of podcasting. You can find Podcast City Network on all social media platforms by going to Facebook at facebook.com/Podcast City Network, on Twitter and Instagram at Podcast City Net, on YouTube by searching Podcast City Network, and on the website podcastcity.net. Let me English today. Be creative, be independent, be yourself. Podcast City Network. Which now we're going to move on to talking a little bit about the NFL trade deadline, which was today. A lot of great moves that we saw, some that were even surprising, some that we saw a little bit earlier than today, like Mark Ingram being moved to New Orleans. But two moves that happened today, I think, that really caught people off guard was Pittsburgh Steelers trading Melvin Ingram to the Kansas City Chiefs for a 6th-round pick, and Von Miller getting moved to the LA Rams. What do you think about these moves?
Man, Rams are a real contender. Stafford clicks in that offense. Defense is just getting better. Adding Miller, you got Peters, you got some other good pieces over there. So, nice trade there. Denver's probably thinking about, we ain't winning nothing, so let's try to get pieces and rebuild for the future.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that deal. Don't necessarily know you get rid of your best defensive player, but they're trying to rebuild and see what they can get. Ingram going back home, or where he was just at, right? He just played for the Saints not too long ago, right?
Yeah, that's who drafted him.
I don't know. I don't even know why that deal even happened. I don't know for either reason. Houston, they went to they got him, Lindsey, and
David Johnson, yeah.
And I don't think any of them are that great, but I don't know. I don't know that you need to. I don't know why New Orleans want him, and I don't know why Houston got rid of him. So.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a head scratcher.
Yep.
But, that's how it works out sometimes. I think for the Rams, though, getting Von Miller, I think is definitely a huge upgrade at the linebacker position for them. Definitely helps bring in some veteran experience. And that defense is already so nasty. It's crazy to think now you're going to have Von Miller on that team as well. So, so crazy. But I think the Kansas City Chiefs definitely get an upgrade getting Melvin Ingram as well. They've been needing something on defense to kind of get them going, and definitely got value with a 6th-round pick given up for him. So I think that one could definitely work out pretty well for them. But I have to agree, the whole Mark Ingram move doesn't make sense to me for the Saints, who still have Alvin Kamara, or for the Texans, who really need the running back depth right now, honestly, because they're not getting much out of Philip Lindsay or David Johnson. So, yeah, head scratcher all the way around.
Yep.
Or Jimmy in the chat saying the Ingram knows the offense. They need someone to block for those backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, or maybe Ingram's gonna play quarterback.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe he'll go in there and throw a few passes, try to put on his best Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll definitely see how a lot of these work out, and definitely make sure to check back next week. But you also need to check out City Limits Tap Room in beautiful DeLand, Florida. Don't know what I'm talking about? Then you need to go to 4425 North US Highway 17 in DeLand, Florida, and check out all the great things going on at City Limits Tap Room, whether it's live music, all the sports from across all the billions of TVs they have, or the live entertainment, and all the great specials that they have, including Monday with all day $6 wing baskets and $5 pitchers of Yingling, Landshark, and Busch Light. Tuesday's Guys Night with half off all wells and drafts from 7 p.m. to close. Wednesday's all-day $5 pitchers of the posted beer from 2 p.m. to close and $2 seltzers at the outside bar. Thursday's Ladies Night with $1 wines, wells, and drafts from 7 p.m. to close. Friday's Karaoke with Al, great friends of the network, from 7 p.m. to close. And Sunday, $13 domestic buckets and $16 import and craft buckets all day long. So check out City Limits Tap Room in beautiful DeLand, Florida. But that does bring us to our meme madness. Definitely got some really great ones this week that we have curated. Definitely can't wait to show these ones off. First one up, though, says, "This is why you check your kid's Halloween bag. Just found this in my kid's candy. Some people are sick." I mean, it's Detroit Lions tickets, so. Oh, man. And I can't believe that the Eagles blew them out the way they did. Absolutely amazing to see that. And feel really bad for you, Craig, if you're watching. Sorry that your Lions suck. Just happens, man. It happens. Oh, man. Our next one says, 2 minutes left on the clock in close football game. Girls, so we can leave in 2 minutes? Red flags. Oh, man. Got to get our red flag meme in there. Got to do it. This next one, though, is pretty good. Lions fans with Jared Goff looking out at Rams fans with Matthew Stafford. And that's probably about how I would feel, too. Oh, my goodness. Too good. Too good. Next one, though, says, the Jets. Tom Brady is finally gone. New England isn't going to bully us anymore. Also the Jets. Losing to the Patriots 54-13. Oh, my goodness. Jets, man, just can't get their lives together. Can't get their lives together. But
that win against Cincy.
Right. But talking about big blowouts, this is how it feels to beat your fantasy opponent by 53 points. Oh, I got a little Shannon Sharp with the cigar and the sunglasses, just kicking it back. Gotta love it. Oh, man. Did you hear, though, about what the Tampa Bay Bucks and Tom Brady gave up to be able to get that 600th touchdown ball back from that fan?
No, not much, right?
Oh, it was a whole bunch. Let's go ahead and go down the list because we got a meme for it. So for that 600th touchdown ball that Mike Evans ended up giving away to a fan, to get it back, Tom Brady gave 2 signed jerseys and a helmet to the fan. Mike Evans signed, what did he sign? He also signed a jersey and some game cleats. They gave him $1,000 in Bucks store cash. They gave him 2 season tickets for the 2021 and 2022 season and 1 full Bitcoin.
No.
Mm-hmm. That's everything they gave up.
Hey, guess what? I'd rather that than that 600 football.
You ain't lying. Oh, man. That's some good stuff. But looking at our last meme of the evening, it's AJ Green in that coverage against when he was going after that pass against the Packers. Controller disconnected. About what he looked like.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, that was absolutely horrible, man. I don't know how you missed that the way he did. But that was our meme madness. We definitely thank you guys so much for viewing. And if you're listening on our audio playback, you can check out Meme Madness on our video portions on YouTube and on Facebook. Just search episode 127 and you'll be able to find it there. But also need to make sure to check out, again, Podcast City Network, because you can join Podcast City Network and the whole plethora of great shows that we have. And have you always wanted to start a podcast but didn't know how? Do you already have a podcast but don't know how to grow it? Are you trying to find ways to make your podcast profitable? You can learn to do it here at Podcast City Network. We offer consulting services and tutorial classes to help with learning to better expand your knowledge and to grow your show. We also give access to our network of shows to help with cross-promotion, guests, and overall reach, while also becoming a part of our ever-expanding PCN community based on people helping people. And the best part is, no membership fee. So what are you waiting for? Go to podcastcity.net/join now and join the fastest-growing independent podcast network around, Podcast City Network, which does bring us now to Give or Go. And we got a couple topics this week that we're going to talk about. The first one being that Coach Gary Patterson is out at TCU after over 20 years with the program. Give or go?
Give. Guess. He had a long career there. I don't know. It's kind of hard that they part ways with him. I think he's put them on the map, right? We know who TCU is because of him. I think he's done a good job. I don't know what it's been like the last few years. I know it hasn't been great. I don't know what inside or locker room or any of that's like, but definitely think it's something to talk about.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I'm pretty surprised that they went this route. You know, TCU has been able to come from one of those non-Power 5 schools who was able to get some good wins, position themselves in some good bowl games, and then got themselves into the Big 12. So, you know, it's and now the guy who really laid the foundation for all that is out. So I'm honestly pretty shocked by this move, especially at this point in the season as well. So maybe there's more to the story than we know, but who knows?
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, for sure. But our next Give or Go topic, Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson takes his key step and has pin removed from his repaired right finger. Give or go?
Give. They need him back. You would hope if it's not this week, it's next week. And he's an important piece. He makes a difference between Seahawks playoffs and Seahawks nothing. He's everything there.
Yeah, he absolutely is. And without him, you know, it's been tough sledding, even though they did get a win last week. But, I mean, the Geno Smith show, I think, can only go for so long. So, definitely not going to be a good long-term answer. They need Russell Wilson back bad. Real bad.
Geno was nice, my fantasy team.
Oh, I bet he was, like 20-something points, right?
21. It's good enough.
But that was our Give or Go. We thank you guys so much for listening. But now we have to talk about PodChaser, because Apple Podcasts is no longer the only credible source for podcast discovery. You can follow creators, browse every podcast ever, and rate and review episodes. Just go to podchaser.com and search keyword FinalScore, one word, and follow, rate, and review us. Which does bring us to the week ahead. And, of course, we have all the NFL Week 9 action. Of course, you heard all of our predictions earlier. So definitely make sure to come back, check next week, see how we did. We also have all the NCAA College Football Week 10 action that's going to be happening. And, of course, our games to watch, including Auburn, Texas A&M, and Michigan State and Purdue. So definitely make sure to check those out as well. But also make sure to check out all the great sports shows on Podcast City Network, including Not a Hockey Market Podcast, the Nest Podcast, the Rip Griffin Show, the Sportszilla Podcast, and Fixed Edge. So definitely make sure to check out all those shows by going to podcastcity.net and clicking on their logo. But you also need to check. What's up?
I only know the last one.
Good old Fixed Edge.
Yeah, that's good. Those guys know what they're talking about over there. Well, a little bit anyway.
A little bit anyways. Yeah, making it happen, man. But you also need to check out episode 128 of Final Score next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern here live on Facebook Live. So definitely make sure to check that out then. But that is sadly the end of our show. We thank you guys so much for watching. Any last words, S Money?
No, we gave you some good picks. I let everybody know there's some good games, some good insight on this podcast here. So tune in, rewind it, watch back. I'm not even going to tell you what we gave out. Some nice tips on a few different games along the way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But until next time, I'm Chris.
Yes, money, guys.
And y'all have a great night.
Podcast City Network.